What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Randy, with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you another fantastic Sea of Conquest video today. In today's video, we are about halfway through Season 4, and I'm coming to you today after a few days of testing various builds against our enemies here at TBS and NOX, who we've been fighting non-stop over the past couple days. I have tested a lot of builds. This is my favorite 6-ship build to date. So let's talk about it really quick. And I'll also talk about the fact that this is a tank-based build. Most of my ships, except for one, is using tank gear to make this build function really, really nice and be able to survive when I have 7 or 8 people on me at one time. And that's what this build does so well. So I'll start by skimming through this report here. This is the fight against TBS. As you can see here, I killed 32,000 folks before I promptly died. Plus or minus, almost died later on in the fight. So this was a glorious, glorious battle and really fantastic. At a port, okay, we were killing auto traders and 6 or 7 folks actually undocked and started chasing and trying to kill me while I was killing the auto traders. Ended up with it being a big fight. It was a lot of fun. Part of it was on the live stream, so that was cool. Let's get right into it. Now, as you can see, here, the damage spread on this build is absolutely beautiful. And this is exactly what I go for when I make these builds. I want these builds to be tremendously balanced. I want all of my minions to die at the same time. I want them to live a long time, to do very even damage. That way, if I do lose 1 or 2 of them, I know the rest of my fleet is up to snuff, okay? So I really, really cannot tell you how happy I was to open this report and see that the damage is so incredibly balanced. What I will say is that the drowning ship with the 2 new heroes is so incredibly powerful with the amount of rage generation that goes to Adeline. It is virtually unbeatable, okay? It is a beautiful, beautiful ship. As far as all the people who we killed, I don't need to scroll through this whole thing. We killed a lot of folks, but that is the breakdown on the damage spread here, okay? So you have the Bones, Onimusha, Luna, dropping it like it's hot. You've got the Griffin, Delilah, Letitia Miller. Now, I don't actually like Delilah outside of straight clashes. I forgot to take her off. I had her on here. I had Boa, then I put her back on for a minute to test something. So this build would be even stronger in these longer fights if I had Boa in this place instead of Delilah. However, Delilah did a decent job triggering strategic damage instances to help boost Griffin's output, so that's good, okay? The artillery ship. Believe it or not, I am using Chizuru. I was using Sharky for a long time. I still love Sharky. I really think they're very comparable in damage output, so it's really up to you. Sharky, of course, is going to be a little bit better on some of the things he does as far as giving, you know, more basic attacks is going to be best for Sharky. It's going to trigger more of his artillery damage, while slower basic attacks are going to be stronger with Chizuru. So that's like ships that have the heavy artillery ability, right? Because she triggers basic attacks, all right? The Stormbringer itself, like I said, we have the brand new hero, Hamar Tornquist. We have Titus Slade, the other new hero, combining with Adeline. If you guys saw my video the other day, I talked about this in depth, but essentially these 2 new heroes produce so many stacks of drowning that they actually are going to be competing with Tanaka in the drowning applications. Okay, as far as Tanaka applying burning stacks, these guys apply drowning stacks, which is incredible. That gives a disgusting amount of rage to Adeline, which is really, really great, okay? And finally, the support ship. This is, I tried 10 different support ships, okay? There is no better support ship in the game for all the way through Season 4, as far as I'm concerned, other than the Cordelia Tanaka Wanda combo. Okay? It is such a powerful combo. As you can see here, it did really, really phenomenally. 39 million healing. Tanaka still pumped out crazy damage by himself on a healing ship. He is so great. And since there are so many drowning stacks on the enemy ship for taking on water for my drowning heroes, Tanaka's going to be, on occasion, extending the duration of those, which is going to only increase the damage for my drowning ship. Okay? So this build is my favorite build by far out of all the builds I've been testing here in Season 4. Let me go ahead and jump over to the outline of the build itself. Since we already talked about the heroes and the synergies and all that, we can spend more time focusing on the ship parts. And shout out to GemZ for sponsoring today's content. If you guys would like to save money in game, please check out the GemZ link in my Discord below and investigate for yourself. Okay, I have purchased $100 worth of stuff for $84 previously. Check it out. They will potentially get you great discounts on in-game packs. Discord links in my description. Thank you to GemZ for sponsoring this content. So, into the build itself. Flagship, nothing much to talk about here. You already saw it on the overview. The ship parts, we are using Sacred Guardian. Nothing new there. Sacred Guardian gives fantastic stats. It gives great aggro and HP shield every time your ship does a skill. Okay, it is basically unbeatable on the flagship. Although Yamada is also really nice because you can get over 120% crit resistance using the Yamada set. So it's really up to you. Sacred Guardian is going to give me pretty solid crit resist at the 60, just under 64% here, which is not too bad, as well as all the other defensive bonuses that we talked about. The Warhammer. This is not the optimized Warhammer, but I did tell you that I'm using tanky ship parts on all of my ships. Currently using the Shelter of Yamada. I am using a level 21 figurehead on this, okay? This is going to give me the critical damage. If you don't know where to get the level 21 figureheads, guys, just go kill the level 50 to 64 or whatever, okay? If you click on those level C monsters, you can click on the tooltip for the legendary ship part, and it will tell you what levels can drop. You can go farm these. I just farmed another Shelter of Yamada critical strike damage 4 or 5 days ago, so now I have 3 of them. Okay, this is really, really great. Also, I would recommend that you use a level 21 helm as well with attack and crit damage on it. I was lucky enough to find a level 25 with cutthroat damage and crit damage on it and more cutthroat damage. So this thing is really, really great. But that's not to say that if you find a level 21, it's not going to be just as good, okay? The level 21 I have here is slightly lower damage but more HP and armor, whereas my level 25 is a little bit higher for cutthroat specific damage. So they're both going to be powerful, but 2 different level 21 ship parts. And I have to tell you something. The patch notes for the upcoming patch in 2 days just posted a few minutes ago. I just read them. The developers said, and I don't know how this will work, that you will be able to level up your old ship parts to a higher item level, which means keeping these level 21 ship parts could be a big, big, big deal. Please keep the level 21 figureheads and the level 21 helms, because the level 25s and 28s and 32s do not drop with the same stat spread as these. They don't drop with totally different stats, main stats and substats, okay? But anyways, Yamada is really great. As you saw in the damage spread, the Cutthroat ship did great damage, okay? And I'm able to still get pretty solid critical strike damage here, 233%. I'm over 100% crit rate. Yamada or Sovereign. The only difference with Sovereign is you can actually use a critical damage sail, which you'll see in some of my other builds, which will give you more crit damage but less survivability than Yamada. We'll get there in a minute. Same old trick is the second best ultimate. I would rather see Cost of Strength. All right. Trinkets, try and put at least 1 crit trinket in here too is going to be better, okay? On to the Orochi. So the Orochi is the only ship in my fleet that is using a damage dealing set. The Orochi is using full Blade of Freedom, okay? And that is because I can stack a disgusting amount of critical damage on this ship. And I happen to have Stealthy Maneuvers as a ship skill. Stealthy Maneuvers combined with Griffin's ability to lower his own aggro by 40 means I'm lowering my ship's aggro by 68. That is incredible. That is going to really help this ship survive until it gets thunderclapped by an enemy AoE strike. It's really not going to be focus fired by enemy basic attacks anytime soon. It'll be last priority because of its low aggro. So because of that, I have taken the leap here and decided to plug in Blade of Freedom on the Orochi because it is going to go ahead and really boost my damage output. I was running Sov on this as well. Sov is also good, but for sure, Blade of Freedom on the Orochi is great because Griffin already reduces the aggro on the ship. And if you're lucky enough to get stealthy maneuvers on your ship, you're going to really not take any damage in the first couple seconds of engaging against anybody until you generate aggro. Trinket-wise, Griffin's trinket is going to be best in slot on Griffin. For a long time, I was using a crit trinket on Griffin. I still love the crit trinket on Griffin. I think it's fantastic on Griffin. However, the best in slot trinket is the Undying Oath because when it's max refined, it gives over 76% total damage bonus. Okay, one crit trinket on your first mate is going to do you just fine. You'll have over 100% crit rate. Okay, on to the Goddess Set G. This is using 2-piece tank, 2-piece Fury. Okay, I'm using the gun and I'm using the figurehead for the Fury set. This is my favorite gear combo in the game. It gives you incredible tankiness. You get somewhere around 23, 24% HP, somewhere around 15, 16% armor. You get still good stats. You have crit resistance. You have reduced crit damage received. You have attack bonus, which is really nice. Okay, and then you move on to the Fury set and you get the critical damage from the sail and the attack percentage from the helm, as well as 20% attack on the set bonus. So this is a great combo. I recommend it, especially for your artillery ship and your Stormbringer, which I'll talk about in a second. For this, I could take off. So if you'd use different gear and you're not using, like let's just say I was using Queen of Revenge, I could put on Ophelia's trinket. But I actually need her crit trinket on right now with this current gear setup because obviously by running attack on my figurehead instead of crit rate or crit damage and running a cannon that doesn't have crit rate on it, I'm now really sacrificing a ton of my crit stats for this survivability and attack. But I think it's worth it. I really, really am impressed by the damage over and over, and it performs very well. On to the Stormbringer. The Stormbringer is running the same exact gear setup. I have 2-piece Fury, 2-piece Guardian on this ship as well. It is my favorite, again, for the Stormbringer and the artillery ships because they generate so much aggro early in the fights, and they really just get focus fired quickly. It's great to have these additional tanky stats. Again, 2 crit trinkets on this ship is really going to help you excel. And Adeline with the Blood Fang. You don't have to use the Blood Fang, but I have to tell you what. The Blood Fang is tremendously stronger. Okay? It is tremendously stronger because of the amount of taking on water stacks that are being applied by the other 2 heroes on this ship. Blood Fang's damage output, its physical damage output has gone up like by 50-60% just by putting these other heroes compared to the Barnacle Tanaka combination or any other combination you're running. Hammer Tornquist applies 10 stacks of taking on water in addition to all of his other bonuses. Check out the video I posted on him a few days ago. Sorry, my ear is quite itchy. Titus Slade also provides a tremendous amount of taking on water stacks every time his ship does a basic attack as well as from his ultimate. So definitely check these out because they are really, really powerful. Synergy with Adeline. Again, talking about her rage generation from Infectious Malice. Maybe a mosquito got me. I'll have to look at the video, see if mosquito got me. Anyways, her Infectious Malice really makes her really, really powerful and gets a ton of rage regen from that in Burger's Fury. On to the support ship. I don't need to show you much on here. It's using a Yamada set. It's using a level 25 figurehead. It's using a level 21 helm to give me a ton of bonus attack. I'm at 212 bonus attack. 212,000 total attack. I've got great armor, great HP, and this ship is almost unkillable between Yamada and its ultimate. Really, really powerful. And that is the fleet setup here, guys. That's what we have to talk about. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'll be posting more fantastic videos later this week. And thank you again, GemZ, for sponsoring this video. Randy, out.